And the first question is, we're really investing a lot of efforts and energy both in developing means for information and in the acquisition of knowledge, because for us, information is power. Is this perception true? Is information the key for a good life? Does it allow us to better govern and control our life? Of course, because if I know, then I'm already looking for ways to implement my knowledge. What's better? What's worse? And then I know how to compare between the different options, the situations, the goals. Meaning the information has to be as broad as possible. And also then to realize this knowledge. There's this saying, if the young would know and the elders would have been capable, that the young, they're lacking the knowledge, and the elders, they lack the force to realize the knowledge that they have. So it's a nice way of complementing each other. It's good. So, of course, the only thing that we're lacking is information, knowledge. Were we to have enough information and knowledge to build a good and nice life for ourselves, and also the force to do it, then it would have been possible to do anything. The only problem is that besides information, we also need the desire how to realize it. Because we sometimes see that, suppose I know that smoking is bad for you, it isn't healthy, but I can't do anything about my nature and my habit. So the knowledge doesn't help. And the same with drugs and with all the rest of these things. Meaning we consist of two things: a desire and if we could acquire also the strength to withstand the desire, that would be good. Our desire, to begin with, is called the evil inclination, meaning it deviates us from the right way, meaning I acquire the right knowledge, good knowledge, with my mind from the surrounding world, from myself. That's my mind, that's the so-called brain. But in my heart there is an evil inclination, an evil, egoistic desire that tells you, nah, forget about these things, what do you care? Take a rest, you feel good now, what do you care about what will happen later? It depicts such things that if I would have been able to follow my mind, follow the knowledge, what I know, I would succeed in everything. I would have been successful, but I would have been like a machine, that simply the amount of information necessitates that machine to behave one way or another. But that's not how I am. I'm a human being, and a human being is that man's inclination is evil from the very start. And therefore I don't take into account the knowledge, but my desire. And then I drink alcohol and cigarettes and drugs and different things, and I don't want to study, and I don't care about anything. And this way I corrupt myself more and more, and then I acquire such habits and such states that actually corrupt everything. I'm not following my mom's advice, like she tells me, go and play with good kids. Why are you playing with these kids? That they're like that. Meaning, you have no choice. I'm following my evil heart. And therefore, even though that information and knowledge is power, but it's on condition that we can grab ourselves and realize the knowledge in the right way, then it is. Otherwise, it isn't. Let's put the desire aside a moment. The knowledge that we have today, is it enough for us in order to manage and govern a good life? Undoubtedly, in each and every generation, and every generation, since forever. Sure, the whole corruption comes from the evil heart. So what we're lacking is the knowledge of how to control our heart and desires such, yes. Meaning we need two kinds of knowledge. The one about how the world works and how to manage myself in the world. That's called to know nature. The surrounding nature and my own nature. And furthermore, I have to have knowledge about how do I restrain myself and how do I keep what I learn when I get information and I really realize this information correctly in a good way, even though that it doesn't really seem that great to my heart. I have to invest in learning, in relations with others. I have to build certain relations, and it's not simple and it's hard. But by learning from the systems of the world and my own nature, this is still how I do it. Maybe you're talking about psychological knowledge. Psychology, you can call it. Yeah, the main thing is psychology here. Also, the wisdom of Kabbalah. It tells me that it's good for me to acquire as much knowledge as possible. Knowledge about the system that governs us, the system of governance and providence, that if I'll know the system, then as a result of knowing this system, I both acquire the knowledge of how does the world behave, what force governs and controls it, and along with it, to the extent to which I attain this force and the knowledge that the world is controlled by a higher system that's controlling us. To that extent, I also acquire the force to participate in it correctly, to control and govern the world in the right way. Meaning, our entire world is controlled by a certain system that's operating it. Everyone already understands it. We're actually studying all these laws of physics, chemistry, biology, zoology, including human beings. We're studying the laws of nature. Where do these laws come from? You can say, simply, they're there. But it's not simply so. From day to day, we discover these laws more and more. Our knowledge expands every time about where those forces that govern us come from.